everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Okay, entertainment only, and I notice I'm matchy again. Yeah, beautiful artwork. I love that most of you absolutely love the artwork. Apologise that a few of you find it a little bit too bright. I suspect art is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, what am I going to have a look at? Well, first of all, I'm just going to grab my yes/no cards for the yes on the bottom and ask a couple of questions. Just at the beginning of the video, and then we'll get right into the reading. Sorry, I just had a little bit of a brain pause there at the moment. One of the questions is, oh gosh, no, whenever I forget to put up against the orange twerp, I get the coughing. Okay, what I want to have a look at, entertainment only, the Gatsby dinner, whatever. The photos looked very odd. The official photos of the event look very odd. Was there actually a Gatsby dinner? They looked like that the orange twerp had been inserted. There were photographs from beforehand of him actually, was he wearing a tuxedo? Everybody else was wearing black and white. And then the photos, the official photos that came out had him in like a suit with a blue tie. There was, and glowing when everybody else was washed out around him. It was very odd. Now, my guides did say a while back that there's going to be an ever-increasing use of AI to try and make it look like the orange twerp is still up and running, whereas in fact he's just merely a shell and the spirit's pretty much already departed. Now, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Was the Gatsby ball? Oh, I didn't even see what it was. No, there wasn't one. Okay, that's interesting. I'll leave it like that. No, there wasn't. My question was going to be, did the Gatsby ball actually take place? No. Okay. Boy, oh boy, am I down these rabbit holes lately. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at Cheney using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Let's have a look. Just Cheney. Is Liz, did Cheney's protection, and I'm not talking about official protection here, did Dick Cheney, old warmonger Dick, who shot a friend in the face, allegedly, and no, it was an accident. Oh yeah, right, okay, not quite sure how that happens, but anyhow, with grown men, but let's have a look. Because I've always seen one does not mess with Dickie's daughter. Let's have a look. Cheney, the authority, the protection, the circle that Cheney had. Is it going to transfer? Yes, it is. Yes. Perhaps not all of it. I don't know that she wants all of it. The offer here, but yeah, 2 yes cards. I'm going to say yes. Cheney's commands are going to transfer to Liz. Okay, where do I go with this? Right, what cards do I want? I might use the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, my most non-controversial deck of all. And I want to have a look at, where do I go with this? News has come out today as I split the deck that the regime is planning a ground invasion, and the media did use the word invasion, a ground invasion of Mexico. Could be a clandestine invasion. Something been fully revealed. Can't be clandestine if it's fully revealed, but anyhow, let's see where this goes. So, apparently the Orange Twerp has, when asked why, if you're going to start a war, you need to have Congress approval. And he said, no, he doesn't. We're not necessarily, okay, read my own notes. We're not necessarily asking for a declaration of war. We're just going to go in and brackets unalive them. Now, the reason why I say unalive is for the censors, so I do apologise for that. And he has come out and said they're going to be DEAD. Okay? He put on the okay. Now, he's talking about the drug cartels. Now, President Sheinbaum has come out and said pretty much no, not permitted to take military, not permitting military personnel to take any military action on Mexican soil. So she's come out and said no. So the Orange Twerp, again, is claiming an via executive order, he's going to call it a national security event. Absolutely, that's what he does. National security event to against the drug cartels in Mexico. And yeah, he's absolutely determined to do so. However, strung up, sacrificed, stopped. Let's see where it goes. Now, Congress is closed the House is closed at the moment. Not functioning, so they can't be asked to declare a war. I believe the situation from what I understand, a president can authorize a military operation, so what's happening in the Caribbean with Venezuela at the moment, but it has to be approved by Congress within 60 days. That 60 days is fast running out. Congress is also closed to this Mexican as well, to this declaration of war on Mexico. Now, I said 18 months ago that if this regime got in, they would be ruling by royal decree, and that's what they're doing. And thinking they can get away with it because so far they have gotten away with it. A lot of you, not a lot of you, there was a few of you that basically kicked up a stink when I said the Constitution is going to be shredded and used as toilet paper. Well, what Constitution? Nothing pretty much is sticking at the moment. Okay, so let's have a look. No, I don't mean that flippantly, I mean that seriously. The Constitution only works if people of honourable intentions are in control. Okay, so is the military going to go into Mexico? Allegedly after the drug cartels, we know what's happening with the Venezuelan boats. Mexico, I believe, just picked up a survivor from one of those Venezuelan boats. Oh, Colombia have gone to the ICC for and charged Hegseth, Rubio, and I can't think of the last one. One more, brought criminal charges against the three of them for the blowing up the Colombian fishing boat. Just going to put that there. So yeah, crimes against humanity. So they've gone to the International Criminal Court. Now the International Criminal Court is based, I believe, at the UN in New York and also in The Hague. So, okay, this is going to get interesting. And there was a link there with New York, and I'm trying to think what it is, but I can't remember what it is. I know you've got the mayoral election happening there at the moment, but it was something to do with the UN, some sort of announcement at the UN that was made recently. I can't remember. You guys in the comments, put it in if you need to. Okay, let's have a look at the regime planning a ground invasion into Mexico. Ace of Swords. New beginning, new strategy, however, sort of truth, legal action, big legal case against the Crown, or it could simply be the strategy. It's just by decree. It is a ruling by decree is what I'm getting there. Oof. However, the sword is always double-edged. So this is a strategy, an announcement, with the king thinking he can do whatever he likes. Let's see where this goes. It is a double-edged sword. Okay, how's this going to go? Okay, the challenge is higher ground defense. So this is going to be Mexico pushing back and saying, no, this is our sovereign soil. You do not come onto our sovereign soil without our permission. I mean, this is supposed to be an ally. Bloody hell. Okay. We've got here the energy that it's stewing in at the moment is the Hierophant. So the challenge is going to be Mexico pushing back. At the base, we've got the Hierophant. Again, ruling by royal decree. You've got the advisors, or should I say the sycophants, just going, yes, sir, how much would you like, sir? But we've got the keys crossed down here. I'm drawn to the keys. Why are these the key? Why am I being drawn to the keys here? The keys being crossed to unlock. But yeah, this is ruling by royal decree. This is the regime pretty much declaring a proclamation. I'm being drawn to the keys. Notice the red, the amount of red in this card. And then you've got, red and blue, Congress. Something to do with the key. This might, the key is with Congress. So they may actually come out and say, no, I'm going to have a look at that. The lunacy of it. Absolutely. The lunacy of this proclamation. We're not necessarily going to declare war. We're just going to go into a foreign country and kill people. Oh, far out, man. Like, really? Like, far out. You know what I'd rather say? Sheer lunacy of this all. And it is on public display. If anyone is in doubt what this regime is about, it is on full display. Now, the orange twerp, apparently, allegedly, has immunity, although I've always seen that both of his presidencies will be declared illegitimate down the track due to voter fraud and treason and God knows what else that will come out. But yeah, just nobody else in the regime has immunity. As shown by Colombia taking these 3 cabinet members, Hegseth, Rubio, and I'm going to have to look up the third. I'll just pop those down for a moment, bring you up gently, and put you on pause and find the third because it's doing my head in. Hang on a sec. Though that was a bit obvious. Rubio, Hegseth, and the orange twerp. They brought charges against those 3. How could I not remember the orange twerp? He's the one that orders it all. Yeah, Rubio, Hegseth, and the orange twerp, the ICC. Okay. Oh, boy. Crowning this reading, it is just lies, 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 lies. There might be an element of truth here. but it is just lying their asses off, seeing what they can get away with. Wow, okay, right. Seeing what they can get away with. Right, so they had the military go into Panama, so pushing the boundary a little bit there. They may try boots on the ground in Mexico, a friendly ally, to see what they can get away with there. And then it's Venezuela, is what my guides just told me. So increment by increment with these lies, they're trying to see how the regime, I'm not just saying the orange twerp, I'm talking about the regime, those behind, and it's not necessarily those even in cabinet. It is those that are behind the regime. They're seeing what they can get away with stealthily, inch by inch with their lies. Oh, far out. Man, I'm beyond holy crumbs. I'm in the far out territory. However, it may be stopped because the immediate future is the hanged man being seen from a different point of view and paused. The sacrifice, the strung up, may very well be stopped. We've got externally a false victory being claimed, riding in as a supposed winner, but nobody is cheering in the background there. Some proclamation of a win. Internally, rash actions, harsh truth, rash actions charging in too fast. Yeah, I think they're just pushing to see how far they can get. I mean, this could be the military being sent in internally, but this is internally, so it may be an intention and a claiming of a victory, a false victory, the judgment card. Harsh judgment, collective awakening next to the being stopped. Okay, the outcome. Nope, don't think it's going to happen with the Four of Cups. We've got the Death card, the death knell. I mean, the orange twerp's about to fall off the twig any day now. Ending of a cycle. The death knell. Rejected, ending, legal action. The Queen of Swords. It's also my Harris card as well. And then we've got the military here. Again, the military is just popping up just about every reading. You're walking away from this abuse of power. And then we've got the voter and unity coming together. And then justice being dealt. And the tower, the regime crumbling. Oh, the order may go out with this King of Wands, make it so, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull it together with that Ten of Wands. They're not going to be out. I don't think they're going to. I don't think the military are going to do this. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun card, the Big Stick card. A lot of information coming out that's just a nightmare situation for these plotting and planning behind the scenes, and it is downfall. And some sort of proclamation coming forward about those that chain themselves to the devil. I don't think it's going to happen. It's just nuts. It's just lunacy because, I mean, the military have, in the past, said, no, we're not doing that. Not recently, but in the past they have. But what I'm getting there is it's trying to pick a fight, claiming national security, trying to pick a fight to see what they can get away with, increment by increment. They've gotten away with so far, allegedly, with blowing these boats out of the water. I mean, if there's no survivors, you can't question them about what they're doing. If there's no boat left, you can't have a look to see what was on it. I'm not saying all of them were innocent, but there is no way any of those boats could have made it into the US. They may have been, they might have been drug boats going to a couple of them going to a drop-off point or something, but there's no way that they could have made it to the US. I think someone worked out that they'd have to refuel about 12 times. But you've also got to remember that a lot of these boats, not only fishing boats, but they travel between the islands with goods, fruit, vegetables, building materials, all that sort of just goods. Okay, those that chain themselves, heartbreak, loss, despair. Those that are involved in this, they're going to be seen. I just wish it would hurry up. But this is one more step that is part of this complete unraveling. I mean, the military cannot take over the government until a certain point is reached, or unless certain information comes out about, and they can. A few of you go, oh no, they can't. But yes, if there is proven international interference and fraud action taken in elections, then the military can step in. We're reaching an end of this. The end is coming. Nightmare situation. And then we've got this opportunity for a new beginning, but only if we learn the lesson. The Emperor is going to be on the back foot defensive about the use of mercenaries in the past. The use of mercenaries in the past. I'm going to leave that there. I just really low vibration stuff. It's just so effed. It's just so effed. I will just, have a quick look. The orange twerp, they're trying to keep his mouth shut. He keeps blabbing on himself. The orange twerp keeps blabbing on himself. They know that they have to get rid of them. They know they have to try and get Shady in there. They're not ready for Shady to go in there. Watch this be ramped up. The frogs in the turn the gas up to high and chuck the lid on with the pot. What else do we need to know about the regime planning? Will a military invasion take place of Mexico? Will the US? I don't think so. Strength of the guardrails. Bruised, it's battered, but it's still standing, and the guardrails are firm. The orange twerp's is going to tell on himself even more and more. I don't think they're going to. I mean, maybe, to try and stop information coming out about the EPs again, but I think it's more than that. I think it's testing. We've got Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles again, trying to test the boundaries. This is ships on the international waters, the options depleting. And then we've got loss and disappointment. We've got treason. So heartbreak, loss, disappointment, heartbreak, loss, treason. And then we've got investigation and judgment. The Hermit and judgment. Oh, cat fur. Yeah, it's not. Just. I'm going to leave it there. Let's see how it plays. And if there's any news, we'll have a bit of a deeper dive. I think the guardrails are going to stand. Congress has already started to grow a spine, believe it or not. And the oath of the military is to the Constitution, not to the President. And I believe Congress has to reopen by, I believe, the 28th of November. I'll confirm that and do a reading on it, which is less than 3 weeks. Is it? No, just over 3 weeks, because the kicking the can down the road is going to expire. So they have to reopen to try and resolve that yet again. Okay. It's going to be interesting. So the regime is trying to get a lot of this stuff through before Congress reopens. I wonder if Mikey Johnson's going to find himself outed, Congress reopens, and the whole lot goes to custard for them. Oh. Let's see how it goes. I shall have a look at that in a moment. Catch you shortly.